Still have my tilt axis on lock. Couldn't follow the airplane as it rotated there. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are standing alongside the Poldermaan on this Saturday afternoon, April 29th. The sun is out. There's an Embraer from KLM coming towards us, outbound. What is it? Trondheim. 13 years old, this airplane. First flight, September 2009. Now it is a beautiful day over here. I'm actually standing in my sweater. Got my sleeves rolled up just a little bit. It is approximately 15 degrees centigrade at the moment. That is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And if I zoom out a little bit, you can see some of the dead cat of my new microphone, which is quite a bit longer than the previous one, both to the front and to the back. First day with the new Sennheiser MKE 600. Hope the sound is alright. Got my new XLR cable earlier today. Before going out, I was also testing to check the sound levels. They should be equal approximately to what I had with the old mic. So hopefully the sound is okay. If it's not, do let me know in the chat and I can adjust it on the fly on the handle with this XLR connection. In the meantime, a lot of people tuning in. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon, Paul Usher. Good afternoon, Kuni Linux. Good afternoon, Evan Rodriguez, who was even so kind to already send a super sticker my way. A red box of popcorn. Well, it matches the boxes we see on the right hand side, the ILS boxes. So, good afternoon, Mario Hendricks, checking the stream on TV, big screen. Excellent. Hopefully makes for good quality on the big screen. Leysieffer, goedemiddag. Good afternoon. Roadhog, good afternoon. How are you, my friend? I'm doing fine. Gisela, guten Tag from southern Bavaria. Hopefully the weather is as sunny there as it is over here. Sharda de Nijs, good afternoon. Ready to enjoy. Well, hopefully we'll see some action, because as I was setting up, it was quite quiet. At the moment there are two runways in use for departures. One being this one, the other one 09. So, as you guys can see, the sun is out. This is to the west. Only a few friendly clouds in the sky. Mostly blue. Temperature 15 degrees centigrade or approximately 60 degrees Fahrenheit. There is a little bit of wind, 6 knots or so, blowing from the north. Which means that pilots departing from the runway over here will be facing headwind. Varying between northwest and northeast a little, but just 6 knots, so nothing to write home about. As you guys can see, a few friendly clouds. The grass quite green, even some flowers blooming. Now I forgot to take my allergy pill, so hopefully it won't lead to me sneezing later during the stream. Now, as you guys can see, hardly any wind. Beautiful reflection of the clouds in the water. Haven't seen any birds yet, ducks or grebes or other types of birds. Now there is some traffic coming this way from the distance. There is movement. There's also the A380 from Emirates still parked at the gate. And Kuni Linux says, amazing how you can make a city hopper look like a Dreamliner just by zooming in. Hey, I see a 747 on the move. Is that inbound or outbound? Let me also have a look on flight radar. Ooh, it looks like an outbound 747 coming this way. So we'll see a Queen depart. But these are 777s by the looks of it. Where's the... No, the first one is a triple, I think. The second one is a Dreamliner. Well, of course, flight radar can tell with certainty. Yeah, the first one is Air Canada 777. The other one is KLM Dreamliner outbound to Mexico City. Hi there Infinity, goedemiddag. Alles goed jongen? Italo 2021, ciao di Italia. Come state amici? Sto bene, sto bene. YouTube fan, good afternoon. Good to see you again. Mike, ready for duck hunting? Peter K checking in from Slovakia. Good day to you, Peter. Hopefully the weather over there is as nice as it is here today. Yesterday it was a whole different scene altogether. Drizzly, cloudy, cold. Did some testing with the new mic at the end of the afternoon, but I was feeling sorry for myself that I forgot my gloves. It was really cold. Fortunately, within half an hour or so, I had tried enough to know what I needed to know and went home again. Okay, so the Air Canada 777 moving to the runway threshold. Now it's very likely that the Dreamliner is going to do the same. Meanwhile, the Queen also coming over here. They don't have to take the detour anymore, they can shortcut. And happy to hear, Marius, that the quality on TV is very good. Hey there, Peter van der Eyck. Oh, push down the camera. I'm doing fine, mate. Really lovely here in the sun. Have to say, does feel like spring. Still wearing a sweater, but the fact that you can stand out here in the wind with just a sweater on is already something. Now, first time a heavy with the new mic. Hopefully it sounds good. If it sounds too hard, too loud, clipping or something, do let me know. I can adjust the volume a little up or a little down. So the Queen is also coming this way, or at least going to the runway threshold. But this Dreamliner is already lined up, ready to go. Never gets dull seeing those wings curve when they rotate, and all of the weight being exerted on the wings, causing them to curve upward. Now unfortunately we don't have a lot of time to waste because the first queen of the day is already lined up. And let me have a quick look on flight radar. Outbound to Shanghai. This airplane is 28 years old, had its first flight in February 1995. And Infinity went to the Keukenhof. I just passed it by, forgot to take the detour via the polder. Was a little bit in a traffic jam, hence I was a little late on the scene. Particularly on days like these, extremely busy. Right, so next up is an Embraer, already lined up, has to wait for wake turbulence to dissipate, put some sunscreen on the nose cone, as you guys can see, so it gives me a few moments to catch up on the chat. A lot of activity already. Good afternoon, Yorkshire Biker, good to see you again, mate, hope you're doing well. Marius says, next week Sunday, going to the Polderbaan with the family. That should be awesome if the weather is as nice as it is today. Went over there just now for a short bathroom break before going to my location over here, and it was fully packed, the parking lot. So always when the weather is nice, very busy over there. Betty Yellow, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well on this sunny afternoon. It is already over here. Looks lovely there, Yorkshire Biker says, and it certainly is. It is 15 degrees centigrade or about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Just a small minor breeze. So I'm out here in my sweater, barehanded. Feels like spring for the first time almost. And Paul says that Bart says hello. Well, Paul please say hello back to Bart if you speak to him in a moment. Well, in the meantime, the Boeing 737 from KLM lined up on the runway threshold. An A330 on its way, still behind on the chat, so let me try to read and catch up. Bridget Miles says, hello, good morning from Daytona Beach, Florida. And I say good morning to you too, Bridget. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the stream. That is 1737 underway. In the meantime, a KLM Airbus A330 already lined up. All right. Sound very good, sound very good, sound fine, excellent. In that case, won't change anything. Amazing sound, says Petertje. Peter K reports that the weather over there is a bit worse than it is here, cloudy. Also going to be thunderstorms over there. I feel for you, my friend. Hopefully spring will also come to you guys. Alright, let's have a look. There's already another A330 taxiing to the runway threshold. One from Delta, outbound to Seattle by the looks of it. If I check flight radar quickly, still lacking on the chat. You guys are typing too many messages for me to read in the beginning. Or it's just too busy with airplanes, that can also be the case. Daniel Kovacs, good afternoon. OP, good afternoon. Welcome back, good to see you. Clayton Y, hi there. Welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Oh, but it is 19 degrees C over there where Peter is. Murat, goeiedag, hello. Alright, I am still behind. Alright, let's have a look what is coming next. This is 737 from KLM. Forgoing the entrance over here where I'm lined up with, so it's going to the runway threshold. Everybody who has joined us in the meantime, good afternoon. I'm going back to the end of the stream, try to read along as you guys are typing new messages. Good afternoon Frank, good afternoon Laurens, Daniel Jaeger, good afternoon, Andrew Boyce, good afternoon, Aaron Paul, good afternoon. All other people who have meanwhile joined us, welcome to AMS Live. You're watching departures from the beginning of the Polderbaan, currently in use as runway 36 left. Wind is coming from the north, the pilots are departing from this runway to the north. Mostly headwind, 6 knots or so. It's 15 degrees centigrade out here, which equates to roughly 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Boeing 737-800 outbound Stockholm. This is a 22-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in November 2000. Six are asking what kind of camera or lens do I use. I use a Canon XA40 camcorder, and yeah, it comes with a lens and it has a zoom capacity I think equivalent to about 600 millimeters in 35 millimeter equivalent, if that's the right way to say it. But it's a Canon XA40 camcorder that I'm using. Aaron Paul also confirming sound is good. Stephen Morley says hi from Ribble Valley, England. Good day to you, sir. How are you? Welcome back. So this 737 from Ryanair, is it going to turn right and come this way? I think it is. Entering the runway over here, where we are standing and seeing it approach from the front. So this is Ryanair. What is it? Flight 421. Outbound Dublin. 12 years old. First flight September 2010. So yeah, 6-star, this is the first time out with a new microphone on camera. Sennheiser MKE 600. So if all is well, we should not be having any difficulties anymore with crackling under windy conditions. Yesterday, when I was testing around the end of the afternoon, the wind was blowing from the west, 280 degrees, 12 knots. I was standing further down the runway for arrivals just to test the settings and stuff. And although you do hear the wind rumbling, because a dead cat cannot fully mitigate that, it didn't crackle. I think last time I was out here with even less windy conditions with the Rode video mic, I was already starting to hear crackling. Also, when at home softly blowing into the mic, didn't hear anything in terms of crackling. So yeah, hopefully Sennheiser will live up to its name. So far, all seems to be well. Although I did have to wrap a thick rubber band around the microphone in order for it to stick in the microphone holder that came with my camera. But that was also an easy solution, quick fix. Hey there Nelly, goedemiddag, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Hey Gos, goedemiddag man. Alles goed kerel? Fahad Ali, or Ali, good afternoon, goedemiddag. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody in the Netherlands is enjoying the weather as well. Okay, so there are a couple of planes on their way over here. Is 09 still in use for departures, I'm wondering. There is a Vueling Neo that has just left, so I think that might have taken the other runway, but there are several underway now. Heavies inbound. Now we also have our first bird of the day. The not duck. I don't dare to call its name anymore because there was still discussion last time we spoke about it. Okay, so there are a couple of planes inbound. First one, A319, shown over here. EasyJet, outbound Birmingham. After that, Delta A330, outbound Boston. Visible over there. Further out, we see British Airways, an A320 outbound London Heathrow. After that, the KLM 737-700 outbound Copenhagen. Now there are two more heavies coming after that. I think two triples. First one, United Airlines flight 969 outbound to San Francisco. In the meantime, the EasyJet is going to depart in front of us. Indeed, Nelly, eindelijk zon. WH, goedemiddag. And thank you so much. Hope you guys will enjoy the new microphone as well. Right, so A319 EasyJet outbound Birmingham. This airplane 14 years old, first flight February 2009. And I see that the discussion is on again. Grieb, food. In the meantime, there's Delta A330 on the threshold. It is Delta flight 257, outbound Boston, Massachusetts. 16 years old, first flight October 2006. And Vince with a 1 instead of an I says hello from Dubai. Good day to you, my friend. Welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Probably a bit warmer over there in Dubai than it is over here. Well, Peter, I will definitely show you guys ducks as soon as I spot them. Unfortunately, the bird we saw just now, which type of bird it was, I will leave in the middle, was the only bird so far I've spotted. Meanwhile, Vince says that it's 33 Celsius over there in Dubai. Well, that's a tad warmer than it is over here. Figured it would be something like that. Now, heavy's underway, but first some smaller airplanes such as this one, A320 British Airways outbound London Heathrow. This particular airplane, 14 years old, first flight November 2008. And in the meantime, I see that David Palfreyman just became a member of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you so much for joining and welcome, David. Stephen says it was a grebe. Okay, so no duck yet, no ducks yet. Hopefully we will see them eventually. I am looking around to see if I spot some, but Now you guys can see it's beautiful weather over here. Really lovely. Little bit of wind blowing from the north. So the pilots are faced with headwind today. En Raki, if I say that correctly, says groetjes uit Groningen. Greetings back to the people in Groningen and to you, of course. Welcome to the stream. And Frank has to go to football. Enjoy, mate. Beautiful day to play some football out in the field. Hey Wilma, goedemiddag. Welcome back, good to see you, hope you're well. And indeed it is a great day for plane spotting. Absolutely agree, Lawrence. So this is United Flight 969 outbound San Francisco, 3-year-old airplane. First flight was in February 2020. Muzamil remarks what every Dutchman has probably been thinking. Finally getting warm in the Netherlands. Well, warm is still a bit too much, but it is definitely not cold anymore. That's for sure. Now, Triple seems to be needing a lot of runway length to get airborne. Still in for a, what is it, 9-hour, 10-hour flight? Off to San Francisco. And in the meantime, another 777 already lined up, Qatar. This is Qatar Cargo Flight 8205, outbound to Beirut. This airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in October 2019. Love for the 777, according to Colin Mack. I think we all can agree with that. If not for the aesthetics, then at least for the engine noise. Early rotation there. Well, Beirut is not exactly around the corner, but apparently it also doesn't carry a lot of cargo with it today on this flight. And we've seen Embraers taking more runway to get airborne than the Triple just now did. So, at the threshold, on the threshold at the moment, we have a 737 from KLM. There's a Transavia 737 behind it. And taxiing over here, Dreamliner and what looks to be an Embraer CRJ behind it. 737 also coming this way. Got the feeling that this is the only runway open again for departures at the moment. Yeah, and you're right, Colin. Over the Arctic Circle, when you go to San Francisco and LAX, they all go over Greenland and Iceland, or they head towards Iceland and then over Greenland and over Canada, back south again. Thanks for the compliment, Yorkshire Biker, who says super footage, thumbs up. And Infinity says, confirm this is the only runway for departures, probably what you meant. Now, you guys could see just now that the windmills in the distance in the background were only spinning ever so softly. There isn't a whole lot of wind. If we take our reference point in the form of the chimneys, it does seem that over there at least the wind is blowing a bit harder. Now in the meantime there is a whole queue forming over here. And Transavia 737 is already taking off. So we now have a Dreamliner that just turned onto the runway threshold. Let's have a look. This is KLM flight 207 outbound New York JFK. It is a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner, 3 years old. First flight was in November 2019. And it definitely is a Saturday. No worries, Infinity. There goes the curve. Hard to see from the outside unless you are really standing in line with the runway, but you can see the wings elevate, rise as the airplane gets more speed during the takeoff. Also more lift is generated by the wings, and then when they rotate is when the actual curve forms. I think probably on board it's better to see than from the outside. Of course the flex when the rotation is fully done, is visible beautifully from the outside. So next up, an Embraer from KLM, outbound Bilbao, 13 years old, first flight October 2009, Embraer 190. And with the exception of an SAS CRJ 900, the queue consists of three 737s of KLM, no less. All queuing up for departure from the runway threshold. Now yet another 737 is coming this way. It looks a bit Transavia. Don't know if it's going to follow the queue or if it's going to make a right hand turn, depart in front of us. But for now the CRJ will be the next airplane by the looks of it. Looking to the left to see what the Transavia is going to do, but it seems that it's going to stand in line with the rest. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Airbus A380 should also get moving sometime soon. Back to Dubai. Let me have a quick peek. I think I still see it over there. Still seems to be parked. More planes are heading this way, as you guys can see. The first of the three KLM 737s is now spooling up. Okay, so the CRJ is coming this way, though the second 737 is already lined up. The CRJ seems to be holding short, but that one will take off in front of us. Hey there, Miss Wolves 13. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. So not a whole lot of time to check things. Zampon says hi from Poland. And I say hi to Zampon in Poland back. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Good to see you. So now the CRJ from SAS is lining up on the runway, taking another exit or entrance, I should say. So this is SAS flight 548 outbound Copenhagen. This is a 7-year-old airplane. First flight April 2016. And I'm doing well, Miss Wolf's 13. It is a beautiful day out here, as you can see. 15 degrees centigrade. Standing out here in the grass with just a sweater on. Did bring a vest, did bring my winter parka. Walked over here still wearing my vest, but really unnecessary at the moment. Little bit of wind over here. 6 knots from the north. Not a whole lot of wind, as you can see in the water. There are some water birds in the distance. I don't think they are ducks. In the meantime, another 737 from KLM spooling up. Also, first day out with the new shotgun mic, the Sennheiser MKE600. Now, yesterday I did test it, but it was with inbound traffic, so actually very curious to listen the stream back when I'm done later today and I'm back home. To listen how exactly everything sounds. Hopefully no more crackling under windy conditions, during windy conditions I should say. It's just me, but over here on the camera screen with the sun being out, it seems like the green letters and logo of this airplane were popping even more than they normally are. Maybe I need to clean my camera screen a little bit. Could also be the case, don't know. Okay, so the queue is almost empty. I think there are 2 Embraers at the moment that are still outbound, and then we'll have a few more minutes to wait for the next inbound traffic. Hey there, Glenn Killian, checking in from Houston, Texas. And what's the time difference? 7 hours? 6? No, 7 or 8 probably. So this is an E2 Embraer 195 KLM flight 1459. Brand new, almost celebrating its first birthday, delivered in May, or no, first flight I should say was in May 2022. Listen how quiet this airplane is. can definitely tell that those geared turbofan engines are even quieter than the regular high bypass engines. I know of the E2 Embraer 195 having them, and also the Airbus A320. Now if an A320 spools up and passes you by from where I'm standing, it's also extremely quiet. I mean, A321neos, 737 Maxes, also very quiet, but this is definitely next level. And Charity Chikwanda says, enjoying your stream from Harare in Zimbabwe. Good day to you, welcome. Nice to see somebody from so far away also having found the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Glenn, hope you're doing well as well over there in Houston. So, there's an Embraer 175 now at the threshold waiting to go, outbound Geneva. This airplane is 6 years old, first flight February 2017. Looking to my left, I can see 3 more planes approaching. First one being what looks to be a Turkish A330. And it is a Turkish A330. Meanwhile, the Embraer 175 is spooling up. 737 behind it. Well, what comes next? Hard to see. Alright, we have a 737 that is coming this way. So this is a KLM 737-800 outbound Bergen. This airplane, 23 years old, had its first flight in April 2000. Here the A330 already being lined up. So let's quickly turn around the camera to show it. This is Turkish Airlines flight 1958 outbound Istanbul. This airplane is 8 years old. First flight April 2015. windmills in the background have started spinning a little bit, and I can also feel that the wind seems to be picking up a little bit. Also, the sun is hiding behind the clouds as I speak. At least over here where I am standing. Looking around, does seem to be a bit more cloudiness in the south, which is interesting because the wind is blowing from the north. This is where the wind is coming from, at least on ground level. Yet if you look in the distance to the south, you can see that there is a bit of milkiness further away. But the sun is coming out from behind the clouds again. Meanwhile, Stephen Chan says hello from Dubai. Good day to you and welcome to the stream. Another Dubai-based viewer, where it is 33 degrees centigrade at the moment. So, this is an Embraer 190 KLM flight 1943 outbound Zagreb. This airplane is 5 years old. First flight was in February 2018. Looking to my left, I don't see any movement on the platform yet from the Emirates A380. I am going to put on my vest again just to keep my hands warm. Or let me do that in a minute. Okay, so there's an A330 from Delta also coming this way. And Dreamliner or Triple? I think a Dreamliner. Didn't check flight radar yet. First up, a KLM 737. 800 outbound Zurich KLM flight 1961. This is a 22-year-old aircraft that had its first flight in July 2000. Kuni says A380 taxi. I'm assuming 09 is still closed, and that this runway is still the only active runway for departures. Right, so it's heavies time again. A330 lining up. triple in the SkyTeam livery following it. Further back, more heavies. Looks like another triple. Turn and burn for the A330 from Delta. Just turn onto the runway. And on its way already. Alright, gear is retracting, so no cooling issues or anything. Bye bye Betty, it's been a pleasure having you around. Have a nice day, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Hopefully see you soon. So, what is this? It is KLM flight 589 777-300 ER outbound to Accra, 13 years old, first flight August 2009. And spooling up. Right, well, no ducks yet, but we do have this one. So, this is KLM flight 735. It is another 777-300 ER. This one 8 years old, first flight February 2015, outbound Curaçao. And Thijs is on the camping, checking from over there. Sounds like an excellent combination. Gear up. Some random girl went spotting in Eindhoven earlier today, and unsurprisingly a lot of 737s. Isn't it mostly Transavia and Ryanair that are flying from over there? Are there any other big names flying from over there? Yeah, KLM probably as well. In the meantime, over here, an Airbus A330-300 outbound Montreal, 11 years old. First flight was in March 2012. And incl VRG. Do tell me how I should pronounce that. Checking in from Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada. Says great viewing today. Thank you. My pleasure, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Glad to hear that you're enjoying yourself. And welcome. Do interact with all the other people in the chat. This also goes for all the other viewers who have joined us in the meantime. Feel free to interact. People over here don't bite. Okay, not really KLM, but Wizz Air instead, says some random girl. I'm a bit surprised. I thought that KLM also flew from Eindhoven, but that's probably me being confused then. Happens often. It's always a good idea never to mind too much what I'm saying. Now in the meantime, and Kuni Linux was already mentioning it, the A380 is moving. So unless they have reopened 09 in the meantime, that one is going to come this way. More airplanes are coming this way. We once again have a queue forming. Here we have an A320 from Vueling. In the Barcelona live, and then it's, oh, love Barcelona. Special livery. 6 years old, first flight September 2016. So 3 planes behind it. More is underway. YouTube fan says Eindhoven also has TUI, Sun Express and a few others. But yeah, a lot of those names do operate a lot of 737s. Here is another one of them. This one is Transavia flight 5517, or at least it says TRA, but it says ETF Airways. Probably leased or something. Outbound Paphos, this airplane 22 years old, first flight January 2001. Okay, York Spiker says, don't think that the A380 is coming this way. Have they reopened 09 then? That is a pity. Okay, so first up, this 737-800 outbound Glasgow. Well, looks like the A380 is spooling up from 09, which is interesting because there is still a lot of traffic lined up or coming this way. You would think that maybe 09 was still closed, but apparently it isn't. So this little 737-700 outbound Munich, smallest of the 737 family. Hey there, Manly Travels. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Now, guess we'll have to make do then with other heavies other than the A380 today, such as this triple. Also, nothing to be too sad about. KLM flight 895 777-200 outbound Shanghai, 200 ER in fact. 19 years old, first flight September 2003. Eres Mendelssohn says, hello from Tel Aviv. Good day to you, Eres. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. What's the weather like in Tel Aviv at the moment? Probably sunny and warm. Now you can hear a lot of birds chattering as well. Definitely looks and feels like spring. Even though I did put on my vest again to ensure my hands stay somewhat warm. It is 15 or so degrees centigrade at the moment, so approximately 60 degrees Fahrenheit. What wind there is blowing from the north at the moment. these airplanes take off in northerly direction, so that means that they are faced with mostly headwind at the moment. And Airways says that in Tel Aviv it's now 21 degrees, so a bit warmer, but it is cloudy and there is some rain. So in that respect, we have it a little better over here, but the temperature over there, of course, something we can only dream of this time of year. I think tomorrow the temperature is going to go up. The temperature high is going to be 1 degree higher, 16 or so on average. If I recall correctly, the rest of the week the temperatures are going to be lower again. I have to think hard to figure out if we already had a 20 degree plus centigrade day over here in the Netherlands this year. Maybe earlier in the year. If I recall correctly, we did have some warm days in February. Okay, so let me forgo the Speedbird because there are two triples back to back. And if you look in the distance, I think that is that a Dreamliner? I think it might be. It looks like the nose of a Dreamliner. First up, two triples, yet two more. So at least we got some heavy compensation for not seeing the A380 this afternoon, unfortunately. Well, except from the distance. Except for from the distance. 5 degrees Celsius and sunny in Nova Scotia. So a bit colder over there. Now it's 5 degrees C for basically end of April, beginning of May. Are those normal temperatures in Nova Scotia? Seems a bit cold for the time of year, but might be wrong, of course. David, it's been a pleasure to have you on the stream again. If you're still around, take care. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you again soon. If not, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now, speaking of Canada, this 777 KLM flight 681 is a 300 ER, 10-year-old. First flight June 2012. Outbound to Vancouver. And it is already spooling up. Oh, that's quite a difference over there. Actually, 18 degrees Celsius the one day and then 5 degrees C the other. That is quite a drastic difference in temperature overnight. Now, the next airplane that we are going to see take off is a Dreamliner from Aeromexico off to Mexico City. Flight 26. It is a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, now holding short well before the runway threshold. Looking around, there's no airplanes in front of it, so I'm looking behind me to see if I can maybe see, well, I do see the bird controller. Doesn't seem to be setting off any fireworks or so, but maybe they are doing a check. And maybe that is the reason why the Aeromexico Dreamliner is holding short. So you'd think that it would then hold short right in front of the runway. Oh, it is continuing its taxi, so probably nothing then. So as I was saying, this is a Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, the smallest of the family, 8 years old, first flight December 2014. Looks like there is another Embraer from KLM also coming this way. Let's not forget to keep the subject in the center of field. Wings are elevated already compared to when they are standing still, and when it rotates you can see the curvature, the trademark curvature form. So weight is put on the wings. Flexity flex. Now gear up. Right. All good. Up, up and away. Now behind me there is an Embraer from KLM holding short. Probably going to enter the runway in a few moments. This Aeromexico airplane, of course, has to go to the west, has to cross the Pacific. So once it now flies in the direction of the runway heading. And once it's over the North Sea Canal, it's going to make a left-hand turn, fly towards the coast, and then head over to somewhere in the United Kingdom, depending on how the jet streams are blowing. They will enter the North Atlantic tracks. Can be somewhere in the vicinity of Ireland, can also be more higher up in the vicinity of Scotland. And setting in the left-hand turn right now. You know, the Embraer is pulling up. Curious to listen back and listen how well you hear that with the new microphone. It should also reject noise from behind and from the sides better than the Rode video mic did. More directional in the pickup pattern. Okay, so average temperature in Nova Scotia for the month of April is 12 degrees C. So 5 plus 18 divided by 2 It's almost average then, except with some drastic extremes. Now, time for another little Embraer KLM Flight 1181 Embraer 175 outbound Linkoping, 6 years old, first flight September 2016. And Manly Travels says, and in about 40 minutes S747 is going to depart. Well, probably going to be around for that. How long have we been streaming now? 1.5 hours or so. The wind does seem to be picking up a little. Okay, so for now there are no more airplanes lined up or immediately visible to be coming this way. First break of the day, how about that? Let me have a look on flight radar, pinch out a little. Okay, is that just me or is there only an A320 now visible for outbound on the platform, on the east side of the platform? And oh, I don't know what your name is. Living 5 or 10 minutes away from Schiphol, so you have surround sound, hearing the planes pull up in the distance and also on the stream. Well, you could see that the bird controller vehicle was moving from left to right. Maybe they're doing a runway check for the time being. I also see, wondering if there's an issue with flight radar. I currently have a filter applied for only outbound traffic for AMS, and it only says the A320 with AMS destination question mark from British Airways. Oh, and now it has also vanished. So it seems that flight radar might also be having a break. Allows me to take a sip of water in the meantime. And you can see coming in the field of view just about, yeah. So it seems that the bird controller is doing a little round to check, which is also probably why there isn't any traffic coming this way. Okay, Dave Smith says exactly what I'm seeing too, so seems that the servers of flight radar haven't been that stable over the last week. This is now the third time that everything seems to be out. Peter K says, so give some ducks if there are no planes. Well, if you can get them to come over here, I can show them to you. The thing is, there aren't any. You can see that the water is starting to get a little more bumpy. But the quackers are gone. Somebody kidnapped our quacky friends. In the the meantime, the bird controller is still doing its round in the distance. And Karsten Kuka says hi from Mülheim in Germany. Herzlich willkommen, Karsten. Hope you're doing well. Are you guys having similar weather over there as you do over here? Now, looking to my right, I don't see any planes approaching just yet. In the meantime, let's have a look at the parking place of the Spottersplatz. Seems to be teeming with people. Still very busy. The French fries joint is also still there. Cars everywhere. There's still a lot of people over there. Also seems to be busy at the bridge over there. The bird controller is checking. I think they might be doing their job too well, because they also chased away all of the birds. There really aren't any at the moment, which is a shame. Now, I do see this little bird. Ooh. Is that a duck? Flying away, far out, now behind the ILS thingies. Also on the move, now flying behind me. But that might be a duck. It's going away, probably chilling in a different canal then. And in the meantime, I see that Dave Smith has just become a member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, my friend. And thank you so much. Don't know why I waited so long, he says. Well, that's okay. Now, over at the fire station, the windsock not doing a whole lot at the moment. Lane says that it is an Exter. And is that a magpie in English, or is a magpie a different bird than an Exter? Okay, so these are magpies in English at least, says Andrew. And I cannot stress enough that I have absolutely no clue about birds other than the most well-known ones. Okay, so magpie or Exter this is. Seems to be hopping on the tarmac now, where the bird controllers are also driving along, or driving over. Okay, now, where is it going to? Flying away? Far away. In fact, it has flown away over there. Oh, I think it's on the light post. There we go. Had some food. Now rest and digest on a nice high elevated place in the sun. Merinha Melo says bom dia from Brazil. Bom dia to you too, welcome. You've reached us at a moment where the runway seems to be temporarily closed for checking for birds or something, I don't know. Wind is still blowing from the north at the moment, so it would be logical that they keep it open, so it's probably only temporary. Hey, photo for you. Goedemiddag. Welcome terug. Good to see you. Okay, so our magpie just flew away. Pie. Oh. Is what Homer Simpson would say. Now, we're still waiting for air traffic to come this way. Meanwhile, I see that the moon is out. Probably too high already. A bit hard to see. I think that might be it, but it is. Oh wait, there it is. But it was out of focus. Okay. So daytime moon, zoomed in maximally. Okay, so this is no telescope by any means, unfortunately. Cannot see any craters, or at least I can't. Let me have a look on the computer. Nah, not really. Okay, well. We are still awaiting airplanes. Now, I do see airplanes on flight radar again, so that is good. And with my filter for outbound traffic still activated, I see a lot of traffic, in fact. And there are a couple of airplanes moving in this direction. Now, some might go to 09. But I'm expecting, oh yeah, I can see a few on the right hand side already. British Airways by the looks of it, the first one. Is that a KLM tail behind it? So we are going to see a few more planes in a few more moments. So bear with me. So PPTT Cure Boy referring to who made that picture. What picture are you guys talking about? Am I missing something? Ah, okay, photo for you's story a bit further up. And feel free to chat in Dutch, but we also have international viewers, so that's why a lot is also in English, but feel free to use Dutch if that's more comfortable for you. Coming this way, looking at flight radar, is a Boeing 737-800 from KLM, outbound London Heathrow. 23 years old, first flight June 1999. British Airways, also outbound London Heathrow, flight 439. Following it, Airbus A320, 20 years old, first flight June 2002. An Embraer 190, also coming this way, KLM flight 947, Embraer 190, outbound Belfast, 11 years old, first flight January 2012. Okay, and according to Photo For You, runway 18 center looks to be reopening on May 21st, so indeed we still have a few more weeks of traffic, mostly going to the Polderbaan when the wind is blowing from the north. Although, as we see today, 09 can also be used. Now, is the 737 going to come this way, or is it going to go to the runway threshold? It looks like it's turning this way. So that is good. Lights are going on. Now, unfortunately, there's a 777 also taking off from runway 09 at the moment, outbound Beijing. So yeah, it does make sense for it to take that runway, but still a pity. And it's a turn and burn. Start, if you will. At least there is some more action taking place over here. Erwin returning from Teugen. How was it over there? Were there also hot air balloons again? Is it too windy for that? I'm just wondering how much wind is too much for hot air balloons. Probably nothing more than a light breeze, probably, but okay, so in the meantime, the British Airways Airbus lined up at the threshold, also outbound London Heathrow. And there's another KLM Embraer coming this way. You can see some more movement in the distance, but it's still too early to tell if the airplanes are coming this way or not. Well, for you, it was busier earlier. I think the first hour of the stream we had back-to-back traffic taking off more or less. Only just now did we have a first somewhat longer lull. But it is bit quieter at the moment. PPTT Cureboy says that in Bremen only 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 airplanes a day if they're lucky over there. Aaron says not busy here, just parachute and glider competition. Maybe later nearby hot air balloons. Gliders is also fun. Was something that I was wondering. Would there be interest in me when it gets more towards the summer? Maybe visit an airfield, a glider airfield that is nearby my hometown. There is this sailplane club in Noordwijk, the Kennemer, which is situated, as the crow flies, just a few hundred meters land inward, next to the Amsterdam water dunes, so to speak. So there are a lot of deer, and it's also in a duney landscape near the sea. They always fly the sailplanes on Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday if the weather is good, at least in the summer months. Now they don't use an airplane to get airborne, but a winch. But it is definitely nice to have a look at. Maybe I'll open a poll later in the year to see if there's interest for me doing a stream from over there sometime. Figured might be a truly zen experience. No engine sounds, just sailplanes. And they because of the vicinity to Schiphol, aren't allowed to go any higher than 2,000 feet, which means that they aren't also airborne for too long, so you do see starts and landings rather regularly. Well, I'm not too sure if I'm the right person to jump out of airplanes. Flying them is one thing, but jumping out of them, not sure if that's my cup of tea. And the Doodleman says that the beeps are annoying in a float plane. Yeah, I've seen some footage from on board, but it's indicative of the vertical speed, isn't it? So they use it to also listen if they're still in the thermal bubble. But it's a good thing you don't hear the beeps on the outside if you're standing alongside the airfield. That's at least one plus. And Charity, thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again sometime soon. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, do consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. That way you get a heads up whenever I go live again. Well, aerobatics in an extra 300 is something that is definitely I'll leave that to other people. Wouldn't want to be the passenger on board. I think all of my lunch would come up again. Even some rides in Walibi are too much. And Leo says, I love planes, especially A380s. Well, I think that holds true for most of us. Unfortunately, today we didn't get to see the departure of the A380. Those people at Schiphol aren't really cooperative in that respect, closing runways when you're standing next to them, letting the highlight of the day take off from another runway than where you are standing at. They really need to consider the viewers watching live streams as well. Maybe I should write an angry letter of complaint to Schiphol. Well, at least we get to see this Boeing 737 take off in front of us. It is a Boeing 737-800 KLM flight 1289 outbound Edinburgh. 22 years old, first flight made 2000. And there I count 4 more planes following it on flight radar. Not sure if they are all going to take off in front of us like the 737 is going to do, but now, earlier it was mentioned that another 747 would also depart in not too long of time. I'm wondering what the status is on that 747. Is it already active on flight radar? Has it already departed but from 09? Hey there, Ant-Man! Are you still in Sliedrecht? It has warmed up a little, but still colder than Brisbane. Well, no shit. I would almost be inclined to say. I warned you to pack warm clothes when you were announcing your arrival here. Spring over here is probably colder than fall in Brisbane. I wouldn't be surprised if winter in Brisbane would even be warmer than spring over here. Photo for you says no 747 active on flight radar. That is too bad. Maybe it will get active soon. In the meantime, this is TUI flight 1741, Boeing 737 MAX 8 outbound to Funchal, Madeira. 2 years old, first flight February 2021. Well, there you go. Ant-Man says winter in Brisbane is generally 15 to 20-ish. And I'm assuming you're talking about centigrade there. We would be lucky to have that in spring on a consistent basis. Or fall. Well, falls are last couple of years at least, they have been rather warm. So this was a Boeing 737-700 outbound to Newcastle. 11 years old. First flight May 2011. And Armaglinci is checking in from Scotland. Good day to you, sir or ma'am. How's the weather over there? So meanwhile, this is KLM flight 1203, number 190, outbound to Stavanger. The airplane you are now looking at, 14 years old, first flight November 2008. Mandy Travel says that there's a 777 from Air China coming this way. Before we'll see that come this way, there are two more planes that need to take off first. And if I look just visually, it seems that this is the chocolate livery German Airways, the DHL. Yep, it is. 15 years old. First flight January 2008. This airplane outbound Gothenburg. Chocolate cake. Yorkshire Biker says 747 should be soon, though not visible on flight radar yet. Well, as long as traffic keeps coming this way, and I think I do see the 777 now approaching in the distance, just about making it out over there. Right, so this is number 175, KLM flight 925, outbound Inverness in Scotland. This airplane is 5 years old and had its first flight in February 2018. Manly Travel says that the 747 is delayed. So Still 45 minutes out then. A photo for you says that tomorrow the wind is all day from the exact east. So they will probably use 09 then for departures and the Kaagbaan for arrivals. Dutch Aviation asks, what is your favorite aircraft? Well, I have several actually. The 747-400 is of course a timeless classic that is still and will always be one of my favorites. But looking at more modern airplanes, I would say that the A350 and the A320 are two of my current modern favorites. Meanwhile, I'm also going to upgrade my vest back to my parka. It is getting a bit chillier now that the wind is blowing a bit harder. Okay, Leo has to go. Hope to see you again soon. If not, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Boon C-17 and Hawker Hunter are also... I didn't know if the question was about commercial aviation or maybe aviation in general. Because of course, if we are also counting in military aircraft, I would have to say that probably the F-14 Tomcat is one of my all-time favorites. En André en Ellie uit Leeuwarden saying hi, groetjes terug. Welkom in the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Right, so this is the Air China Cargo 777 that was referred to earlier. Taxiing to the runway threshold, outbound Shanghai. The airplane that you guys are watching right now is 8 years old, had its first flight in January 2015. 2015 is 8 years back already. Feels like it's still recent, but hey, in the meantime, have a look at that. The first time I see ducks actually sitting and not flying by in the distance. Definitely Doodle Man, Top Gun. As an 80s child, something I grew up with. One of the many reasons why I wanted to become a fighter pilot when I was little. So yeah, duck hunting. The Flying Duckman has spotted a duck couple. But without further ado, let me turn around the camera because the triple is lining up. Probably going to go in a few minutes, a few seconds I should say. So zooming out, showing you the bigger picture, you guys can see the sun is still out, although with the wind it is getting a bit chilly. Wind is blowing from the north, so the weather is coming from over there. This is to the west. Mind you, that's always a bit sunnier because you're pointing the camera towards the sea, where it's always a bit less cloudy than it is land inward. This is to the east. Now you can see in the distance, just above the trees, there is more cloud formation land inward. Also to the southeast, and this is to the south. Now, as there is an Embraer taxiing to the runway threshold, there's also an airplane taking off. Let me see, can I show you guys? You guys should probably... Really hard to see it for me over here. Is it? I'm probably missing it because there's not a lot of contrast, and also the camera seems to have lost focus. Hey, I think there is a banana coming this way. Oh, that's too far to the left. Airbus A300, DHL, banana. In the fruit aisle soon. First up, this Embraer 190 KLM flight 937 outbound Dublin. This is an 11-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in January 2012. Now I do see a few more tails in the distance. Let's see, more Embraers coming this way. And what is happening in the heavies department? Not a whole lot by the looks of it. Just quickly browsing in flight radar, checking what is active at the moment. It seems that it's mostly narrow bodies. That is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. So, we all know this airplane type, Airbus A300, DHL, outbound London Heathrow. This particular one, 28 years old, first flight March 1995. Meanwhile, both ducks chilling nicely in the sun. Probably also a bit out of the wind in the grass that has been growing quite well over the last weeks, also on this side of the water. So if you come here in the morning and the grass is still damp, your feet are immediately soaked because of the moisture and the height of the grass. In the meantime, another Embraer 190. There are two actually. The first one is going to Southampton and the second one is going to go to Leeds. One at the runway threshold at the moment, 9 years old, first flight November 2013. The second one outbound Leeds, 11 years old, first flight January 2012. You're right, Doodleman. Lot of UK flights there. UK outbound rush hour seems to have begun. Now, I was looking for a National Geographic logo, but it was a bit dull, so I figured let's do Duck Hunt, the Duck Hunt dog instead as an emoji. Travis has to go. It has been a pleasure to have you on the stream today. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope to see you again soon. And if not tomorrow, then have a nice weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and hopefully see you soon. And in the meantime, Remco says hi. Hey there Remco, goedemiddag. Welcome to the stream. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, if you tune in later, we are standing alongside the Polderbaan, which is currently in use as runway 36 left. Northbound departures. Wind is blowing from the north. What wind there is at the moment. And the wind has increased a little since I started the live stream around to 1:30, 2:30, 1:30? No, 2:30. In the meantime, the windmills in the distance are spinning a bit harder. It seems that the direction of the wind has also changed somewhat if we look at the chimneys. Earlier, I think the smoke was coming more towards us. It seems now that it's more moving to the right, but maybe I'm just mistaken. Now, what is noticeable is that the waviness in the water has increased. Earlier it was like a mirror around the beginning of the stream, which is also why I switched from wearing only my sweater to wearing a vest and later back to my parka. With the wind exposure here, it is getting a bit chilly otherwise. Now, we're waiting for the next traffic to come this way, and it seems that there's another Embraer 190 outbound to the UK underway, outbound Bristol. Still a few moments before it's over here. moment to catch up on some water. So, yet another Embraer 190 outbound Bristol. Looks like it's going to take off from the entrance right in front of us. The particular airplane you're now looking at is 9 years old, had its first flight in December 2013. And looking a bit further out, yet another Embraer 190 is coming this way. KLM flight 1783 outbound Hamburg, I should say. Also 9 years old, January 2014 was when it had its first flight. And the next Embraer also taking off from the entrance in front of us, taxiing directly towards us. Always nice from this point of view. And another rolling start, a turn and burn. Steep climb, or at least that's what it seems like from where I'm standing. Now the nose is going down a little bit, so just the initial part. Okay, no more planes coming this way. Let me see if I can follow the airplane higher up. Where is the Contrail? There it is. There we go. Is that an A380? Looking at the wing angle, I think it is. British Airways? Now, the camera is pointing upwards, so I cannot watch what you guys are saying in the chat because my phone is now pointing towards the ground with the screen. The 747 has wings that are more swept to the back. So this is an A380 by the looks of it. So yeah, if we don't get to see it take off in front of us, at least let me show you guys this one then. Cruising along. we might see another quad engine airplane in the distance coming towards us. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, too far to the right. There we go. Found it. Now what is this? It is a quad engine. That much I can tell from my little screen. Also, let me hold my right hand over the screen so I can look at it without the sun shining onto it. Ooh, nicely captured together. Unexpected bonus. Now there is an Embraer E2-195 coming towards us, but I'm very curious to see what this airplane is. Think we'll see the E2 depart first. Already on the runway. Ooh, Photo for You says it is an A340 from Lufthansa. Confirmed by several others. Nazinho says from Munich to Chicago. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for also updating me. I will go back to it in a moment. Let's see what we can see of it. It is passing by more nearby. Let's see. There's the contrail. There's the airplane. Also rotate the screen of the camera a bit. There we go. Fully zoomed in now. Oh yeah, definitely recognizable. The wing shape. It is easy to recognize the quad engines just by the angle of the angle and the width of the main wings. Now flying almost overhead. Bumping anything into my tripod by the looks of it. Oh, you guys should see the way I'm pointing the camera right now. It's almost vertically upright. Since I have the pan handle on the front of the camera, there's nothing that can bump into the tripod, which does allow me to focus. Follow airplanes like so. Beautiful. Pity we don't get to see the A340 on Schiphol anymore, at least not on a regular basis. Maybe on occasion there is one coming to Schiphol, but nothing on a regular basis at least. Well, Also looking to the other side to see if maybe some traffic was coming this way, but looking towards the main platform area, it is still empty. Alright, I'm going to reorient the camera again in the normal configuration. Let's have a look on Flight Radar, see if something is coming this way. Now Matt and Hoy are both saying that the 777 from China Airlines is being pushed back. Hey, that's awesome. Remco can even see the airplane from Alkmaar. That is so cool. I always wonder how far you can see them. You can still follow them. I think it is pretty far out to England already before it's not visible anymore on a clear day from over here in the Netherlands. Let me take a quick sip of water before that big bird is coming closer. Right. Peter K says that he once managed to take a picture through the telescope of an A340 when it flew over the moon. That is awesome. I've seen those types of pictures on the Astronomy Picture of the Day on occasion. And Hoy is saying that the 747 is now getting pushed back. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have left for today. Nah, where's the 747 going to? Because 09 is also still open. Let me also quickly go to the KPN app. I totally forgot to add data to the initial 10 gigabytes, and although I don't think we're running out of data just yet, it's easy to quickly add a few gigabytes. 7.5 used, so should be good for another hour or so, but let me just quickly add 2 gigabytes. Alright, and let's add 2 more just to be sure. So that should last me for at least 2 more hours. Alright. Hey Mats, good afternoon. Good to see you. So, and the 747 is going to Toronto, Peter K says, so that means it is going to come this way. Or at least I can say with a high degree of certainty. Now, no, this is the Dreamliner we are now seeing that is going to Toronto, right? So where's the 747 going to? Wilma has to go. Internet is not okay. Too bad. It was a pleasure to have you around again, Wilma. Hope to see you again, maybe tomorrow, and if not, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And hopefully see you soon. So this Dreamliner KLM flight 695 is a 7879 Dreamliner, 5 years old, had its first flight in July 2017. Ooh, Dave Smith says that the 747 is Air China Cargo headed to Bangkok. That might also take off from 09. And Remco, are you referring to the registration of the Dreamliner that I am still shooting? According to Flight Radar, it was the BHL. Bernard Hendrik Leo. Hey there, DVHB27. Tuning in from Rancho Cucamonga. What's the weather like over there at the moment? Over here, as you can see, sunny. The wind is blowing from the north. The camera is now pointed to the north. So clear skies over there. If you look in the distance, just above the tree line, you can see that land inward. This is now towards the east, more or less. There is a bit more cloudiness. To the south, mostly open. And in the direction of the sea, the west, it is all blue. Now the temperature when I started streaming was approximately 15 degrees centigrade, so that is approximately 60 degrees Fahrenheit. At the moment I think it is a bit cooler, although the sun is not yet setting, particularly now that the wind has also picked up. But the duckies don't seem to be bothered by it. .36C in Rancho Cucamonga, holy moly, that is quite warm. Yeah, and NJ already says Air China Cargo 747 will be on 09. Too bad. Really a shame that they have also kept that one open. Looking at Flight Radar, there is a 777-200 outbound to Hong Kong already lined up. So yeah, Far East destinations take off from 09 today, unfortunately. Now, is there some more traffic coming this way? At the moment I don't see anything in the immediate vicinity. 777 to Bangkok, 747 to Bangkok. They are all likely going to depart from 09. EasyJet to Palma de Mallorca, I think, might also take off from over there. 777 Bangkok also on 09. There is a 737-700 outbound Madrid. It is already taxiing along 09. Embraer to Budapest, also ready to go on 09. Huh. Really a pity that they've also kept 09 open, which is facing crosswind when you're taking off from over there. Also looking in the sky to see if I can spot any contrails in the vicinity. Unfortunately, I don't. Now, what I do spot, let me see if I can show you, are the departures from 09. Let me see. Tower is over there, so somewhere. Yeah. Over there. All right, well. Is this runway still in use? Well, according to the app that shows the current runway usage, it is. But unfortunately, no traffic is coming this way just yet. So maybe it would be a good time then to end the stream. Maybe tomorrow is a better day if I go out earlier. Of course, today I had to wait for the XLR cable to arrive to accompany the new mic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the sound of the new mic. Earlier I heard that people were saying that the sound was well, also in terms of the volume. Hopefully you guys haven't heard any crackling. Hopefully during more windy conditions we will not hear crackling ever again with the new mic. So yeah, if all the heavies outbound to Bangkok and the Far East are going to 09, I think this would be a good moment to wrap it up, because I don't see any traffic in the immediate vicinity just yet. Maybe an E2 Embraer 195 outbound to Florence, but looking at what is lining up for 09, all the Spanish destinations all seem to be taking off from 09 now. So I think that this is a good moment to end up the stream, to wrap up the stream for today. I am looking to go back out again tomorrow, of course, also on Monday. Think maybe I'm going to do a morning stream. Also have to look at the weather tomorrow and the wind particularly to see which runways are in use. But yeah, I think this is a good moment to say goodbye for now. Thanks to each and every one of you who have joined us again and have participated in the chat. I've had another blast and I hope you guys did too. If you like what you saw and you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me to reach a wider audience of like-minded people who are also into aviation live streams like you and me. Thanks for everybody who was so kind to become a member or donate a super chat or a super sticker. It really means a lot to me. Thanks each and every one of you for tuning in again. I want to say have a nice weekend, maybe see you tomorrow, and hopefully I will see you again soon, and bye for now.